championship hopefuls ready to get it on. In the lineup, Desmond Bane, what a season it's been. In the young second-year kid who has yet to play this season
for the Grizzlies.
This is Desmond Bane, catch and shoot, one of the...
And pace is going to be a big factor. This Grizzlies team, they want to get up and down the court. Of course, the T-Wolves more methodical in the half court.
Here comes Anthony Edwards on the drive and kick into the corner for Jaden McDaniels, one of the bright young 3-and-D players in the NBA. So the Memphis Grizzlies 27-15. They've been terrific at home this season. A little foul line jumper from Wells off to the right. Number 3 in the Western Conference. Edwards coming around a pick, finds his spot. And Memphis at home 15-5 this season as Morant trying to put Edwards on skates. Grant, what a matchup between those two. Jackson off the miss, cleans up.
Offensive glass, creating second chance opportunities. Jaren Jackson Jr. converts.
Edwards catch and shoot three. He's volume from the three-point line way up. He's taken 10 threes a game. He's been sensational in terms of an efficiency standpoint as Bane misses from deep. It's been fascinating to see the evolution in Edwards' game, Grant, this year.
Yeah, I thought he'd spent a lot of time with Steph Curry this summer. Maybe it rubbed off a little bit. And creating opportunities for himself and his open teammates.
Morant goes behind the back. Gobert, look out. Nearly goes head over. Jenkins obviously look at concern, hoping to jack.
Well, you also see right away the movement, the energy, the pace of this offense. They really test you defensively. Minnesota's got to be sharp against this attack from the Grizz.
Here's Mike Conley Jr., the one-time Grizzly, who still at the top of the record books here in just about every major statistical category, a legend in this city for so many.
43 wins right now. This time last year, 30-12. 22-20 right now.
Jackson goes. The Grizzlies pitching a shutout. Minnesota at this end has missed its first 5 shots. Randall trying to get them initiated offensively. McDaniels into the corner. This is Naz Reid. That's no good. And it's going to be a loose ball.
In this season, off the bounce, again, right here in the paint, he's been so efficient and effective.
Jackson misses a little floater in tight. So off the floor comes McDaniels. Timberwolves all 6 from the floor. Randall, we've seen a lot more of this. Randall, the initiator in the offense. Beautiful pass, and there it is.
Julius Randle, I mean, he's a willing passer, and his penetration causes all types of difficulty.
Randall made his emotional return to Madison Square Garden on Friday in a double-digit win for... As we've seen from him this year, for all the lumps he's taken, his efficiency numbers have been way up as Randall spots up from 3, and the rebound underneath by Bane. So we crossed the 8-minute mark in the early stages. 7-point Grizzlies lead. This is Jackson. What a matchup against McDaniels. Morant gets the high screen inside. Just
is dangerous to defend.
Better than 21 points per game. Reed's going to pull. That's a deep 3.
6 from the three-point line. They shoot a high volume of threes. 47% of their shot attempts are threes.
Well, he's up there. Looking Conley all the way to the rim. Missed it. Tracked down by Jackson. Jackson, open floor. He's been dangerous. Just the
attack mode. Getting downhill.
But work in progress, but boy, have they adopted to this.
Refresh button. How can we get better? Can we create unpredictability, movement patterns, spatial awareness? So they have adopted to this new style.
For sure, and of course we all remember Amari and what he's been doing since then. But now here you are, a basketball legend, an icon, and I'm not using those words lightly. You literally have done everything that this game has to offer. When you with a smirky smile.
I'm going to stop you right there. There was no greatness at the dinner table exchange between Reggie and O. There was no greatness, was there, Reggie and O?
Pure competition, yes. But you spoiled his night with that record-setting performance that you had. Please relay that story.
Just simply, Reggie was feeling kind of good about himself, and rightfully so. He came home with 40, dropped her up to let him know that I had 105. But what really upset Reggie is I didn't play the last 2 minutes, bro. let them last a minute.
Okay, so Cheryl, here we are present day.
Yes.
We're witnessing this NBA, this basketball game that has evolved so much, the tremendous growth of the WNBA. What are your thoughts on where the game sits now?
Well, it's in great hands, obviously. The Dove is it's exploding, and then you look at Unrivaled. Are you kidding me? So women's basketball is on the rise, and it just continues to get better and better. I'm excited.
As we all are.
Little sis, I love you.
Love you so much. You guys have no idea how lucky we are to have her. Back to you.
Stephanie, great stuff. Amazing to see Cheryl Grant have that kind of moment. What a true icon of the sport, an ambassador of the sport. As Desmond Bain finds a spot, misses off the back of the rim. And I just want to say, you know, for all the rose petals and bouquets, that, let's be honest, he's not even the best player in his own family.
Yeah, he wasn't the best player at the kitchen table there, as they referred to. But how about that family and Cheryl Miller? I mean, really, truly, not only arguably the greatest women's basketball player, but one of the great basketball players, period. Just an incredible talent, a trailblazer, and to serve the game in so many ways.
That's great, just great to see her. Desmond Bain underneath Brandon Clark, trying to find his little spot, in the rebound corralled by McDaniels. So Minnesota making a little push. They cut it to 3 as we come up on the 4-minute mark now left in the quarter.
And they're not settling. They're getting in the paint now and attacking. Bain creating that steal opportunity.
This is Kennard. Splash! All right, we'll see who comes out prophetic with their predictions. Really nice, cool to hear the guys talk about for the year.
No comment. None of the above.
Edwards coming around a screen, goes right into the chest of Aldama, who held his ground nicely defensively. Grizzlies looking to push. Moran has it. And that's it.
Stopping the break of the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies today beginning a 4-game homestand, trying to keep pace with the elite teams in the West. Shot clock at 3. Morant finally recognizes he's going to pull off the back of the rim, and the rebound underneath is controlled by Minnesota.
Ooh.
Coming.
Letting them know.
So over the last 4, a stretch that started with Friday night, won by 17, but again, all the chatter, big picture is where this team sits. Jared Jackson, nice little turnaround, 9 and 11. Clearly, this has not been the same team. The question is, can they get there? What's the potential for this team?
Well, they can improve. I mean, obviously, when you make a trade and bring in a guy like Julius Randle, who brings a safe position in the playoff picture.
By the way, that was the second personal on Jaren Jackson. This is Edwards, shot clock at 5. Edwards now to Reed, 1 to shoot, he's got to hurry, flicks it up, and able to beat the horn.
Great clock awareness by Naz Reid.
One thing about Minnesota, Grant, everyone knows how good they've been defensively, and that continues, but over the last 10 games, you're starting to see some signs of growth as Morant absorbing a little bit of a bump. Thought he was fouled by Edwards, pleading his case, and John well behind the play. Man advantage, Edwards was hitting Morant with the tech. I apologize.
But you don't get penalized. You know, John does.
No.
Or of what his game line took a risk on him. He's played well.
Aldama, 9 points in their win in San Antonio, Grant, on Friday night.
At 20 points well.
Dillingham. Wolves have taken a 1-point lead. Their first lead of this quarter. Morant. So Memphis' offense has gone a little bit cold. Reed the clear.
We'll give credit to the defense, the Timberwolves, keeping the Grizzlies out of the paint.
Deflected, gets it back. Aldama's going to pull. Fight for it. Arabia into the corner. This is Pippen. Way too much.
The smallest guy gets the rebound. Rob Dillingham.
Edwards, that's good. This offense, could they put it all together? They've been one of the best offenses in the NBA during that stretch.
Well, their defense right now has really bailed them out, only holding this offense to 21 thus far.
Aldama's 3-0, and Memphis has been one and done for the most part. Not many second chance opportunities. Final 21 seconds of the quarter. Edwards looking for a seam. Edey comes out. They leave Edwards, finds the laces.
Edey leaving too early created that opening for Edwards.
Final 6 seconds. Kick out Aldama. Off balance. His collegiate ball at Loyola, Maryland, 2 years.
Getting downhill, not settling for Minnesota. That's why they're nursing his lead.
The miss 80. And then a 23-5 run. They scored the last 14 points. Randall spent much of that on the bench. So encouraging signs of your Chris Finch, Grant, with the way this game has started for Minnesota. This is Jackson playing with 2 personals, taking Randall to the cup, and he missed it. Won't get a better look than that.
And he likes that left hand. Just could not convert there, but everything going Minnesota's way thus far.
Randall off the feed from Dillingham, knifes in. Gobert, a little bit of a bobble. Alexander Walker with 5 to shoot. Offensive rebound, Gobert. This is Dillingham, terrific ball movement, but even better defensive rotations by the Grizzlies. This is Jay Huff in the open floor. Little Euro step, and he turned it over. Dillingham turns on the Jets, and he goes glass.
And the shot-making ability from Dillingham.
For a beautiful backdoor cut, and what a pull.
The Grizzlies keep coming.
So here's Dillingham, a rookie out of Kentucky.
So the bench is getting involved for both teams.
That was the other.
Mileage on his body, also so much wisdom, but inserting him throughout the season, just figuring things out with this team.
Last time these two teams met 8 days ago in Minnesota, game that the Grizzlies won. The offensive rebounding by the Grizzlies was really the difference in that game as Huff misses a 3. Minnesota has been much better so far in this matchup. Jackson on a 3, no, and Memphis just can't buy one from deep. They're now 3 of 15 from 3.
They're getting good looks, just not converting.
Dillingham faking the pass, and then he misfires. Jackson clears.
And this is where Jackson's been great. Getting a rebound, spreading the floor, going one-on-one. Get comfortable doing that, and now he is a weapon with the
Timberwolves in Dallas, Golden State in SAC, and NBA.com, or visit the NBA app for the complete schedule. Spiro Beatus, Grant Hill, Stephanie Reddy, Gobert, a one-handed catch on the feed from Randall. Trying to do it all in one motion, misfired. Arabia out to Kennard. And both of these two teams have gone cold. We've just hopped on with us, Minnesota 22-20. A far cry from their pace at this point last season. We're trying to get one here against the number 3 team in the West in the Memphis Grizzlies. Huff turning Alexander Walker back. Here's Kennard, side steps, McDaniels got him. Kennard, masterful fake. Getting
in the defense, creating those 3-point opportunities. The team is so dangerous.
Grant, every single night, he's already played 11 different players in this first half.
It's been impressive, their depth. I mean, you talked about it as Dillingham weaves his way in, somehow gets the offensive rebound.
Randall on a 3, and both teams can't shoot straight from deep. Jackson, some of that ball handling that we just alluded to, and this
does on the defensive end.
Let's get more on Jackson now with Stephanie.
Hey guys, I spoke with Tripp before the game about that very thing, being available and his shot blocking prowess. As Minnesota knocks down that wadding balls in terms of shot blocking, he's more interested in changing shots and yes, getting some
game changing. But he historically has been prone to fouling. Right now commits about 3.3 fouls a game. So if he continues to mature and be available, as Stephanie alluded to, definitely works out well for the Grizz.
Well, that will be a big factor for this team, hoping for as they begin play today.
They've had issues this year with injuries. I mean, it's still been a challenge. They've missed 205 games due to injury this season. As Conley can't knock down the open 3, but they're still playing good basketball in number 3 right now.
Spain, boy, they got a fingertip on it again with McDaniels. Here comes Randall back into the cup, puts it. Finally making his year 2 season season debut. Had that offseason foot surgery to fix the broken fifth metatarsal in his foot. They signed him to the G League for a couple of games over the last week. And finally, Jackson, Grant, who had a really impressive rookie year. Here he is, his first shot. A little bit short, but nice to see Jackson back in uniform.
Yeah, talented young player, oozing with talent.
McDaniels way too much on the weak side rebound by Kennard. So John Morant back in the fold here. Attacking Chisholm.
Smart.
We mentioned Morant missing their last Antonio game that they still won handily. A night that they scored 140 points. So that was actually the 18th game that Morant has missed this year due to a various number of ailments. As Randall, not that time. And that's been the other encouraging part of the Grizzlies. All the games that Ja has missed this year, Grant. Desmond Bane, the facilitator, is that point guard. They haven't really skipped a beat.
Talk about Bane in that game against San Antonio. He was sensational. Right now he's 21 points a game on 61% field goal shooting in his last 5 games. And had 22 in San Antonio the other night.
Edwards.
For this season, had 3 games in the G League with the hustle to get his conditioning back. No minute restriction, you might be interested to know. This little nugget though, guys. This game is the first time that G.G. Jackson.
4-point game against Denver. Right towards the end of the regular season as we get an offensive foul here.
Coming out party, and actually was interviewed by the inside the NBA guys after the game. And it was actually fun because he was in awe of Shaq. And Shaq, my father, was one of the honorees as well.
It was awesome to see. And just for today, your votes count today. Just a couple of blocks away from the incredible.
This is the Grit or 28 points in their matchup with the Grizzlies. Efficient as he probably could be. Now 4 of 7, 3 of 4 from the three-point line, 16 points. So he is taking the challenge and just had a block there.
As we play here now inside of the 5-minute mark, Taylor Jenkins is barking towards the officials. He's got to be careful. Edwards looking for a seam. Morant ratchets up the defense. Hard pick from Gobert. Edwards to Conley into the corner. Reed. He'll fire, and he's
A few turnovers by the T-Wolves, but Reed knocks it down.
Naz Reid, who kind of struggled. Look at Edie, my goodness. Just defense. But Naz Reid struggles a little bit the first stretch of the season, part of the story for Minnesota, but this is the Naz Reid we watched last year. Gobert, pretty.
Right now, the big guys are getting involved.
Here comes Jackson, speaking of bigs, boy, Euros showing you some of what he's got in his toolbox. McDaniels, backdoor with the acceleration. So Minnesota now has its largest lead of the day. Morant, Jackson could. They get it to Wells. And McDaniels the loose change. With possession, an 11-point lead. Trying to get their season jump-started, Grant. Again, 22-20, number.
Understands the importance of this game here today.
For more details. It was fun to hear you talk about your experiences watching Anthony Edwards with the U.S. men's national team and LeBron James.
I thought 2 years ago during the World Cup, he realized after that experience that he's a star. I thought last summer maybe he learned how to be a star. And it was like a sponge, just absorbing everything. And he might have been around Steph too much because he's shooting a lot of threes this year, but he's shooting them at a high clip. Unfortunately for him, as Edwards has received point shooting, not settling tonight, getting downhill, now has 20 points.
That was the one part of his game that's maybe taken a little bit of a hurting on certain nights with the higher volume.
Make or miss or a turnover. So it just slows the game of shooting your three-pointer, and he's doing a good job here tonight.
Just been amazing to see as his volume of three-point shooting has gone up. The attempts per game, to see him shoot it at this clip, just under 43% for the season, has been incredible to watch. Edwards finds his spot. He's got 22 and a half. Here comes Aldama out to Morant. That's the highlight heavyweight matchup, him and Edwards. Bane, splash.
Snaps in the defense, finding his buddy.
Well, when those two got it going, it is magical to watch. Morant and Bane. This is Reed, hard fake. Clark fighting. Morant clearing.
But knocks down that one.
So Morant at the line, misses on the front on FanDuel TV, free on all. Not shooting it well at the stripe, just 8 of 14 if you've just hopped on with us. One of the reasons why they're playing in this 13-point hole. Final 90 seconds of the half. Edwards trying to fend off Morant and Clark. 5 seconds to share. Tosses in. Grizzlies are out of fouls. Randall on a step back. Well played. Reed with the rip. Underneath, one beautiful dime, and then Randall blew the layup. But Reed is there. He misses in tight.
Just could not convert there. Multiple opportunities.
Again, the offensive rebounding, last time these two teams met in Minneapolis 8 days ago, was dominated by the Grizzlies. Minnesota now starting to hold their own on the glass. Aldama.
Second chance points, and tonight they only have 4 offensive rebounds, so the Timberwolves making the defensive adjustment, and it's paying off.
Randall swallowed up, a little bit of a late.
Dangerous and so dominant. They've averaged 100
this season, number 5 NBA team. But this Minnesota defense, boy, what a pass. So Brandon Clark. Reminder coming up, American Express halftime report, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and Shaquille O'Neal standing by in our Atlanta studios. Get you their first half thoughts. Here comes Reed. Timberwolves are out of fouls. We know how good this Minnesota team has been defensively and how good they were the last couple of years with Cat and Gobert. A little bit of a slow start with their defense with this team, but since December 1st, they've been as good as any defense in the NBA. More fouls to give. This will be a kick. Shifty. Look at Conley. Picks his pocket. Up the floor. Edwards going to fire. And that's going to get us on this Memphis offense. Grant, with what they've done with their defense. Again, this prodigious Grizzlies offense leads the league in scoring per game, better than 123, but their fewest points in any half this season. Julius Randle puts it on the deck, guarded by Edey. McDaniels finds his spot. Half off and running.
And good patience there, but part of the defense here has been rebounding. The defensive rebounding against the Grizzlies. Grizzlies average about an offensive rebound on 34% of their shots as well during the regular season, the Memphis Grizzlies. And tonight in this first half, only 4 second chance points. So Minnesota rebounding has certainly helped.
A Minnesota team that's playing a 3rd straight game without Dante DiVincenzo. He's got that sprained big toe on his left foot. And Minnesota is saying today that he is out indefinitely, so that has to be a little bit of a concern as Conley is going to be whistled.
The toe and recovering from a sprained toe. So not great timing for them losing.
Minnesota in the midst of this 2-2 stretch. A stretch that began with that home loss to this same Memphis team last Saturday. They begin the day 22-20, the number 8 team in the West. Anthony Edwards, boy, around and out. So the Grizzlies showing some fight. Boy, they turn Morant back. McDaniels off the broken play. Edey, the payment, missed the dunk. Tracked down by McDaniels. And
done so much for the entire country, and black people are still pushing for the time when we had to work. Sad to say, but we still have to work for those times because it's changed, but it has not changed enough as time grows near. Young people must realize that they have a job to do as well. Because they're young, only because they are human, and they're going to have travesties to go through throughout life. So don't give up. You keep on working.
It's great messaging, and I'm very curious.
Life. And I knew that God was going to do something, but I didn't know what. So I followed my feeling. Folks, but the courage to stand in a country which the Constitution did not represent. And he was fighting for that, fighting for you and fighting for me. But I'm the king, you know.
Yes, just a few months. Tommy Smith, thank you so much. It is such an honor and a privilege to talk to you. Congratulations again. We really appreciate you.
I'm enjoying myself, and thank you.
All right, guys, take it back.
All right, Stephanie, just amazing to be in his presence as Jalen Wells, the catch. Just one of the most remarkable sports figures, truly, that we've seen in the last 50 years, maybe even century. But to be here listening to him in this city on this day, just really something special.
It is something special, and his courage, his leadership, and certainly what he endured, which wasn't always good, but to be celebrated now for his contributions to progress, I think is tremendous.
And with a just beautiful catch of those Mexico City Olympics in '16, just months after Dr. And then that iconic image that will live forever of Tommy Smith raising that fist up in the night air in Mexico City. Marcus Smart still on the sidelines. He's missing his 24th game of the season with that right index finger injury. This is Jackson.
More efficient, more comfortable with that little left hand push shot than his right hand.
And by the way, to see this kid Jalen Wells play
one of the most dynamic scorers in this league, and is struggled in that first half, but he is sticking to his assignment.
Here comes Conley whirling his way into the paint, gets it into the corner. McDaniels on a now into double figures with 11. That'll push Minnesota's lead back to double digits. Here comes Jackson, putting Gobert on skates. Here comes Edwards into the teeth of the defense. Let's see all things basketball. Honored and privileged to be with you. Spiro Ditas, the Hall of Famer Grant Hill, Stephanie Reddy, our producer Aaron Banks, and the great Lonnie Dale, our director, rest of our TNT crew. Minnesota Timberwolves, number 8 team in the West. Memphis, 3rd in the Western standings. This is Wells, the rookie.
Can Edwards work for everything on the offensive end?
There's the shooting in the quarter, and look at Wells again.
Wells making Edwards work, picking up full court.
It has been impressive to watch that young man as Kennard's player to begin his collegiate journey. 1 year at Sonoma State before he transferred to Washington State. Eventually got them into the dance for the first time for that school since 2008. What a rookie season it's been. That is big. Getting them charged up here in Grind City. Conley, little body bump. Boy, that is an awfully late whistle. It's on Kennard. There was a little bit of contact up high. And Mike Conley Jr. to the free throw line.
Momentum of the Grizzlies.
Mike Conley Jr. still the all-time point of what an impact he had not only in this franchise but this city for so many years. Desmond Bain crossing, missed it, and the rebound
into the lead for the Timberwolves.
Into the corner, that's McDaniels, a little bit too much. Or Jackson able to poke it away from Randall. Would have had an open layup. Here comes Kennard underneath. Wells. Kennard gets him reset into the corner. Jackson didn't have a lot of space. Pulls, and Reed the rebound. So Memphis in this game just 7 of 29 from 3. Alexander Walker now to Randall. Aldama is going to take his turn against Edwards. Edwards' eyes lighten up, wants to take him off the bounce. Excellent defense by Aldama, never left his feet. This is Bain, open floor, contact, he's going to shoot free throws.
Sells on that possession on the defensive end.
The time is always right to do what is right.
Game right now, Grizzlies, just the depth and kind of wearing you down. Taylor Jenkins using 10 guys over time. What kind of impact will that have as Edwards unable to make that layup?
Edwards everything but the finish that time. Aldama catch and shoot 3. Boy, hasn't had it today. And what's been a career year for him.
Got a couple bad misses from downtown.
He's 0 for 7 from the field. All 7 of his shots have come from 3. Ball knocked around the paint. Aldama. Wells transition 3. Back rim offensive rebound. Aldama. Now Morant. Nice in. Aldama. Drop. There's the bench scoring. This second unit from Memphis as good as any reserve group in the league this season. Gobert, contact. Boy, Clark, a little bit too much on. Dillingham gets it back from Gobert. Shot clock at 5 as we play inside the 3-minute mark in the quarter. Dillingham not a lot of space. He sticks it nonetheless. Fast.
Rob with the shifts, as they say.
That's the 650th made three for Minnesota this season. Morant, or the artistry in his game, the shiftiness, Grant, just almost impossible.
Jr., Ja Morant, Bane, they're attacking off the bounce.
Going to pick up a lot of that playmaking slack at foot. And Morant hasn't been a great shooting game for him, but he's got 12 points, 7 assists. He's done most of his damage at the free throw line. Here comes Edwards looking for more. It's an 8-point Minnesota lead as we come up on the final 2 minutes left in the quarter. Second meeting between these two teams, and Wells going to fire. Misses badly. Clark is there, and he's bumped. This will be. So Brandon, see what Clark has done. They double him up into the corner to Reed. He was sensational in the first half. And here from the NBA's reigning 6th man, and 10 anyone could have in this country. As we welcome you back, final 90 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Ja Morant step back, pull over Dillingham, missed it. Clark getting his hands dirty again, but he
puts a rebound. And almost a turnover on the inbounds play there. They are really picking up and pressuring Anthony Edwards here in this game.
Ja Morant now is 3 of 12 shooting, by the way. As Taylor Jenkins throwing all of these young bucks taking their.
But that's what you want if you're Memphis. You want Gobert having to make reads and make plays, and that time made the wrong play.
So inside of a minute now left in the quarter. Minnesota trailed by as many as 11 in the first quarter before they built their double-digit lead. Pippen taking contact and able to put. So it's a 6-point game, 46 seconds left in the quarter. Pippen, this is going to be a reach-in foul.
Mid-range jump shot. Scottie Pippen Jr. showing his value.
Undrafted in 2022. It's his 3rd year in the league. 6 games as a Laker before eventually.
So Isaiah misses that free throw.
Attacks to the paint.
Well, you just don't put so much. There's a nice little adjustment here in this game for Edwards.
Edwards got 29 points. 12 of them have come at the free throw line.
They showed a little zone right there, Minnesota.
A 9-second difference. Shot to game clock. Morant the spin high, missed it. Edwards, terrific defense, and then the save. But then it's Kennard. Had a huge impact on that open look for Kennard. Minnesota will not get a.
Shots are gonna fall. Big 4th quarter coming.
Thanks, good luck.
All right, Stephanie, the always cool Desmond Bane. Here he is on the catch. The way this team is put together.
It really is, and you forget 2-3 years ago, I mean, how dangerous this team was. And they picked up.
Unbelievable. On the finish, LaRavia. And that brings the Grizzlies to within 1 possession. This will be
waiting on the bench there. They seem like they've seen that before.
LaRavia, by the way, who was actually drafted by Minnesota, but traded on draft night a couple of years ago after they took him with the 19th overall pick. This is Reed, finds the laces. Offensive rebound, Alexander Walker spins back up, misses at the cup. Randall blocked by Jackson. Randall!
Kind of willed that into the basket.
Jackson against Randall now at the other end, trying to return the favorable, masterful.
With great spin and finish by Trip. Can I say Trip?
I think you can.
Triple J, Trip.
That was not patented by Stephanie. I think she'll share it with you. Randall on the missed 3, deflected at a
convert tonight.
Pippen loose ball is going to spin back up on just textbook game here in Memphis.
And the energy, you wonder, is the depth wearing them down as
the 4th quarter. G.G. Jackson in the corner, again making his season debut as he finally officially begins his 2nd NBA season. Look at LaRavia on the cut. Bane. A couple of decent looks underneath by the Grizzlies. They come up empty. Timberwolves got a 3-on-1 run. It's Reed to the Bay for NBA All-Star. You can vote NBA.com or the NBA app before it's too late. And again, just for today, your votes count 3 for 1. Jackson taking some bump.
Alexander Walker tries to help. You know, Triple J has not been scoring much in this game, but that could get him going here in this fourth quarter.
Dillingham off a stool. And Dillingham off the bench has given Minnesota 12 points in this game. Jackson on the leader.
And that's what he's done this season. Bringing the ball up the court. The floor is spread. Gets to that paint where he can be.
Minnesota begins the fourth. Reed and Dillingham. Reed again from three. Around the rim. Off glass. Has been lethal. He's got 19. Laravia trying to create some space. Lost the handle.
Starters on the bench for the Timberwolves. The Grizzlies can't seem to cut into this lead right now.
Memphis playing with Pippen, Jackson, Laravia, Bain, and Gigi Jackson. Well, knocked around. Reed tracks it down. Boy, he's been all over the place. Gets it to Dillingham. That's an open.
The hot Dillingham.
Eventually was the 8th overall pick by San Antonio. But boy, has he found a home with this Minnesota franchise. And he's put together one of his better games of the season. Here comes Jackson going right into the chest of Randall.
With Randall in foul trouble, Triple J is taking over. They got to get stops though here on this end of the Grizzlies.
Here's Julius Randle, puts it on the deck, likes the matchup against Bain. They double. This is McDaniels. Misses badly, boy. Alexander Walker attempting what would have been just an unbelievable step
Leading to an open corner three.
What a sequence for Nickeil Alexander Walker. Jackson on the... For this town, this fan base, happy to see Gigi Jackson back in the mix today, making his first appearance of the season. Now as Reed takes him off a switch. And look at that for Reed. He's got it all working.
Looked like magic in the late 80s.
My goodness, you're right. Boy, Pippen. Boy, this has been fun. The intensity continues to ratchet up here as we come up on the midway point of the fourth quarter. Alexander Walker, the curl. 27 minutes. He's got 21.6 rebounds. He's hit 3 threes. And a big reason why Minnesota's holding a 7-point lead. Here comes out. Taylor Jenkins making a couple of changes. John Morant back in with Edey. Also Jalen Wells to join Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bain. Morant weaving his way through. And his prayer. Mention the games that he's missed this year. 18 of them. He missed up injury. Dealing with that foot soreness of late. Here comes McDaniels. It's going to be
happy to be back. Happy to be helping his team win with his great play and leadership. That's the most important thing right now.
Here comes Reed, a little hesitation, trying to get Edey to bite. That's a tough shot over Edey. Knocked around Jackson on the take. A foot race with McDaniels. Look at Jackson in the open floor. Here's Reed, thought about it from deep. Now to Dillingham, 9 on the timer. McDaniels off the screen, working against Kennard. Spins, fades, tough shot. Offensive rebound, Gobert gets it to Reed. That's a corner three. He sticks it. It hit
3 times offensive rebound. Find a shooter in that right corner. And if they win, that might be the difference.
Here comes Ja, the spin, the fade. As we come down the stretch here in Grind City. Edwards bottled up, steps between, and he goes glass. Jackson, Edwards getting him on a switch. They get into the rookie Wells. Reed. That is a huge call to put the rookie Wells in Brooklyn. And then Thursday, the NBA and Jalen Wells, young man who was taken with 39 of the rosters that Kleiman has put together with this Grizzlies front office, as they are trending back in the right direction with this team.
Where did he go to school?
Well, he went to Duke Law School.
Okay.
Does that still count? Do you guys still claim him?
Yes, we do.
3-pointer from Edwards, not that time. Bain, little bump, and they get here. And this has been fun to watch right from the start. 1-point game.
Clutch time contest in 12 and 15 in those matchups. So can they execute on both ends down the stretch on the road for Minnesota?
Memphis has not led since the first quarter when they built an early 11-point lead. What a matchup here. The two of the most electrifying players in the league. Edwards misses, Jackson clears.
Back-to-back possessions, settling for tough threes there from Edwards.
Here comes Bane on the attack. Memphis retakes the lead. There's so much talk, Grant, about how good this Memphis team has been scoring. They lead the league in points. Also top 5 in defensive rating is this Grizzlies team. Reed.
Possessions not ideal offensively for Minnesota, and the Grizz are doing everything right.
That's the 14th Timberwolves turnover. Memphis in the midst of a 16-5 run. Bane looking for more. Bane taking Gobert. Look at Jackson, rips it back, and he's going to shoot free throw. The difference between a win or a loss
For the T-Wolves.
and Jaren Jackson.
And so when they've done that, okay, Wells is going to get in his space.
Look at the rookie try to take Edwards. Now to Randall. Tough pass. Conley. Corner 3. Missed it. Fight for it. Conley. The rebound underneath Gobert, and he threw it away. Boy, Gobert had an open little bunny underneath. Didn't take it. Here comes Morant. Airborne. Free throws. So the second tightly contested game that these two teams are playing in the span of 8 days. The last one won by Memphis, 127-125 on January the 11th in Minneapolis. Grant, how does this one end here today?
Well, in that game, it looked like Minnesota was in control down the stretch. A couple turnovers in that game. And Minnesota here by Morant, or on Morant, find his teammates, and they're going to have to make plays without him.
Julius Randle, he's been so good as a facilitator the last couple of weeks. Pick and roll, Randle, Conley, Reed, a 3, splash.
Him out of the game. He was a little emotional after some of those calls. He can sit, gather himself, comes in, hits a big-time 3.
Inside of 2 minutes left, that tension builds a little bit more here in Memphis. Jackson against Randle, couple of bigs, bang.
Oh, I love it.
Jaren Jackson, 24 points. He's exceeded his season average in what has been a career year for the 7th-year pro. Here's Reed. He's not done yet. But a tough shot. He tried to go left hand. Here comes Morant. Boy, missed it. Some of that electricity to get to the cup. He just couldn't put it down. Conley. Here comes Reed on the dive.
Down to defense. Getting stops here. One possession if you're Minnesota. Conversely,
so we're under a minute now. Shot clock at 8. Jackson pushed out. Minnesota is out of fouls. Randle D'ing up Jackson. Boy, that is a hard shot. What defense on that sequence?
well, they waited too long to shot attempt.
It's a 3-point Memphis lead. Edwards against Clark. Here he comes. And Edwards. Point game.
And Edwards at the line. And that
career year for Edwards.
possession too slow, causing a tough rush shot.
Both teams are out of fouls. This is Bane. Randle on a switch. 5 to shoot. Bane with all that length of McDaniels, and Taylor Jenkins is going to get a timeout. Didn't like how
Maybe downhill, Ja Morant catch the ball, handoff. Oh, maybe not. Jaren Jackson Jr.
Jackson flicks it up to the rim. The tip, no. Jackson, boy, a little contact on that Jackson on the clock. Randle the inbounder. Memphis trying to protect this lead, and here we go. The Grizzlies are out of fouls. Edwards against Bane. Edwards elevates.